Assalamualaikum and good morning to our beautiful Madam Nini, and to our panel. Today we want to present about culture, environment, and fourth dimension. Alright. Before that, I want to introduce my name and my friends. My name is Wiswan Faris bin Adri. My team and my friend is Fiza and Faiz. Alright, we start with the culture environment. Yeah, we know the culture environment have six. First, artistic, religion, technology and material culture, language, social organization, and manner and custom. Right. Next slide. Introduction for America, or we say United States of America. It's located as North America. The capital of America is Washington DC. America has consists 15 states. The largest city is New York City. At America, they use currency United States dollar. Their Independence Day is 4 July 1776. Next slide. Next slide is American aesthetic, the culture environment. First, the mythology. Buffalo, also known as the bison, they were used in many rituals that include dancing and prayer. Most of the rituals were related to the difficulty of the catching and the killing of the buffalo. Considered as scared animal, they are also seen as a very powerful within the spirit world. Music. It's about music, American music style and influence such as rock and roll, jazz, rock, soul, country, hip hop, blue, and music based on them can be heard all over the world.
Wiswan.
Ya.
Sekejap. Madam, slide jalan tak, madam?
Apa dia?
Slide jalan tak? Ke slide start
Tak
kat
jalan,
situ?
tak jalan, start.
Tu. Okey tak, madam?
Jalan. Tapi satu. Next slide ni. Next slide is think big, often prefer large and luxurious. American like their space. That also apply to American food. More restaurants serve very large portion. Next is competition. American thrive on competition. Children are encouraged to work hard and try their best to success at the task. Next slide. Religion in America. The culture environment. One of the most region in terms of its demography. The most popular region in US is Christianity. United States incorporate many Christian ideas, particularly really about redemption, salvation, concept, and morality. Britain is the third largest religious population in United States after the non-religion. American Islam effectively began with the revolt of American slaves. Instead, about 10% of American slaves transported to the United States were Muslim. In America, the majority of population are Christian. When it comes to Christmas, business take the advantage by using the Christmas by example, promotion, team, and another. Next, the culture environment, American language. There is almost the most spoken language in the US. We know America is the big country, and yeah, they may use many language in the country, such as English, Spanish, Chinese, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, Korean, German, Arabic, and Russian. Also, there some of in the country have used Bahasa Melayu. Right. Next, American Social Organization. The culture environment. Social class based on wealth, income, educational, attainment, occupation, and social network. By social class, upper middle, working, and lower. Next is American minor in custom culture. Eating culture and ethics. Burger, sandwich, and pizza are eaten with hand instead of utensil. There is the culture is like to eat burger and sandwich, then don't eat rice like our country, Malaysia. People do not share their dish together, although they may have food at the same time around a table. Next, ethic when visiting at home or at a party. America don't take off their shoes when entering a home. America expect guests to some consciously at agree time. And food is usually passed around the table and each person serve themselves. If you don't want on one of the dish being passed, people will take and pass it to the next person. Yeah, the culture at America is different in Malaysia, is big different, and yeah, this. And next, eye contact, mandatory in public and particularly on public transportation. People avoid making eye contact with stranger. Eye contact is very important here, especially in a formal setting. It shows that you are paying attention to a speaker or to your speaker partner. Restaurant ethic. Tipping yourself 15 and 20% is required. No tip need at fast food restaurant or for carry out. Doggy bag are common way to package leftover and take them home. Gender issue, interaction and perception. The perception of same-sex physical touch, uh, like hand holding, arm lock, is that the couple is homosexual. Because physical interaction is acceptable, then in the stage, women are seen as equal to men and expect to be treated friendly. It is normal for both men and women to share the responsibility of the home and children. Safety for women. It is not a good idea for women to walk around on their own at night. It is better to save as part of a group. Alright. Then after this slide, I pass it to Mama Faiz.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Faiz Izzuddin bin Abdul Rahman. So I will start with hub state dimension. So under hub state dimension, we have a power distance, individual versus collectivism, masculinity versus femininity, long term, short orientation, and uncertainty avoidance. Next slide. So I will start with power distance and individualism. So first is the very low score on power distance in combination with one of the most individualist culture. Next is in an organization, hierarchy is established for convenience. Superior are accessible and managers rely on individual, employees, and teams for their expertise. Next is both managers and employers expect to be consulted and information is, is shared frequently. Next is the expectation is that people look after themselves and their immediate families only and should not rely too much on authorities for support. That means they need to be self-sufficient to support their daily life. Next is employers are expected to be self-reliant and display initiative. Next slide. Masculinity. First is behavior in school, work, and play are based on the shared value that people should strive to be the best they can be, and that the winner takes all. That is, they will tend to display and talk freely about their successes and achievement in life. American assessment systems are based on precise target setting, by which American employees can show how well a job they did. There exists a can-do mentality which create a lot of dynamism in the society, as it believes that there is always the possibility to do things in a better way. Typically, Americans like to work so that they can obtain monetary reward and as a consequence attain higher status based on how good one can be. Next. Uncertainty avoidance. First is Americans find themselves which will impact their behavior more than if the culture would have either score higher or lower. Tend to be more tolerant of ideas or opinions from anyone and allow the freedom of expression. Americans do not require a lot of rules and are less emotionally expressive than higher scoring culture. Next. Long-term orientation. So America are prone to analyze new information to check whether it is true. Americans are very practical, being reflected by the can-do mentality. Americans have very strong ideas about what is good and bad. This may concern issues such as abortion, use of drugs, euthanasia, weapons, or the size and rights of the government versus the states and versus citizens. American business measure their performance on a short-term basis, with profit and loss statement being issued on a quarterly basis. Next slides, I will pass to please Filza.
Hello. Okay, my name is Sistina Fauza Atila binti Muhammad Zahir, and I'll be presenting about Burger King in American and Malaysian cultures. Okay, Burger King. This is some info about Burger King. Okay, Burger King was founded as Insta Burger King. It wasn't start with Burger King. It started with Insta Burger King in 1953 in Jacksonville, Florida, by Keith J. Kramer and Matthew Berm. And then it changed to Burger King in 1959 due to financial loss and problems. So one of the franchisee bought the business and changed it into Burger King. The Their name is David Edgerton and James McLemore. The type of business is subsidiary. The genre is fast food restaurant that sell fast food product like hamburgers, burgers, hot dogs, sausage, soft drinks, and fries, and many more. They serve globally, all over the on like every country in this world. Next, we're moving on to this is some short story history of the Burger King. The founders and owners who had purchased the rights of two two piece of equipment called Insta Machine opened their first restaurant. They 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 got the name for Insta Burgers are actually based on Insta Machine. So they think like, why not we open something like fast food restaurant by using the Insta Machine. So yeah, they started open their restaurant. Their production model was based on one of the machines that they acquired, an oven called Insta Broiler. The strategy proved that to be so successful that they later required all of their franchisees to use the device. After the company flattered in 1959, it was purchased by its Miami, Florida franchisee, James McLemore and David R. Edgerton. They initiated a corporate restructuring of chain, the first renaming the company Burger King. Actually, they changed their name and their owner about four times, and this one is the second time. They ran the company as the independent entity for 8 years, eventually expanding um, to 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 over 250 locations in the United States before selling it to the Pittsburgh Company in 1967. Hmm. Okay. Uh, okay. Hmm. Next is this is Burger King Asia. This is the chain